Chargement FSD en cours.
applies to all visitors. Please alight at your assigned pad, and thank you for choosing this facility.
Contact, commence system shutdown. Welcome, Commander.
Rackham's lavish celebration concludes. Pilots Federation alert. A party held by newly confirmed trillionaire Zachary Rackham has concluded, with attendees claiming it was an incredible event. The week-long event took place in the upper stories of the Rackham Spire building on the planet Homeland. This required regular supplies of the luxury items Apovietzi, Eurasian goose beer, Pantar press sticks, Yushin tree grubs and Nduligar fireworks. A spokesperson for Rackham Capital Investments thanked pilots for these deliveries and confirmed that payment could be collected at Edmondson High in the Beta Hydri system. The spokesperson remarked that
Message de mission critique entrant.
Mr. Rackham himself was unable to make a personal appearance due to fatigue. The Federal Times published this piece by financial journalist Brianna Blanco. First-hand accounts from some of the partygoers suggest this was more like a no-expense-spared holiday. Each attendee was assigned an Achilles Corporation PA-961 serving robot as a personal butler, constantly attending to their every whim. An impressive range of beverages, cuisine and various legal stimulants were available. Those who wished to stay overnight were provided with luxurious suites near the peak of Rackham Spire, offering fantastic views of the picturesque landscape. There were exclusive live shows from top performers, including steel dub band Grawlix and popular singer Casper Karma. Exotic entertainers from the Lucinda Nine Spice Agency provided both public and private entertainment. And everyone departed with a goodie bag containing limited edition Duradrives, colonies of Altrian skin, and gambling credit chips for the new Rackham's casino down below in Los Pioneros. The guest list included PR specialist Anya Blackriver, Soul Today's owner Neve McFarlane, Beta Hydri Corporation's entire board of directors, senior management from half a dozen federal banks, and no less than 8 independent, liberal and Republican congressmen. How many of these tried to convince Rackham that running for president was a mistake, and how many offered their support in hopes of future rewards? I'm sure the old pirate will pursue whichever route offers the greatest opportunity for new treasure. Archon Delane seeks to destroy pirate rebels. Pilots Federation alert. The Kumo Crew Syndicate has engaged in open warfare on the pirate insurrectionists gathered in the HIP 10792 system. A recent coup attempt led by Arch-Corsair Vidar Trask, formerly one of the senior members of the Kumo Council, has failed. His forces were unable to eliminate Delane and take control of the criminal organization. The rebels' vessels have concentrated in HIP 10792. Trask is commanding a coalition of loyalists, independent pirate gangs and as yet unidentified mercenaries, collectively calling themselves the Trask Death Corsairs. Despite suffering from some visible wounds as a result of the assassination attempt, Archon Delane broadcast this message. Trask has betrayed all of us, and for that I want him crushed. I will pay well to wipe out every single traitor who fights in his name. The Kumo Council faction will reward all independent pilots supporting its operation against the Trask
Message de mission critique entrant.
Death Corsairs in the HIP 10792 system, which is being orchestrated from Crimson Exchange. Pirate rebels coup attempt fails. An insurrection led by Arch-Corsair Vidar Trask has failed to gain control of the Kumo Crew Syndicate. Vox Galactica featured a report by freelance correspondent Carlene Troy. As might be expected, it's hard to obtain official data when conflict breaks out within a criminal organization. But all the information I've gathered points to the same conclusion. Vidar Trask's coup attempt has failed. What is surprising, however, is how close he initially came to dethroning Archon Delane. The Kumo crew were almost overwhelmed by the sheer number of fighters following Trask's banner. I'm told that nearly half of the rebelling forces have yet to be identified and are suspected to be mercenaries. A second mystery is that Arch-Corsair Kay Valentine, another senior member of the Kumo Council, has been declared missing. The Pegasi Sentinel newsfeed believes that she was killed by Trask personally. The newest Inner Circle member, Callan Salamanca, is leading Delane's counterattack against the insurrectionists. Most of the surviving rebels have now retreated to HIP 10792 and are attempting to drive out the Kumo Council faction in that system. Eyewitness reports regarding the ongoing firefights suggest that Delane is in no mood to forgive his would-be usurpers. Dredger clan visits the Golconda. The Artificers clan Dredger has entered the Upanaklis system, where the generation ship Golconda currently resides. The Golconda, when it was discovered in 3305, was still inhabited with the descendants of its original crew who left Sol in the 22nd century. They accepted the Federation's help to abandon the ancient generation ship and resettle on the Forester's Choice outpost, where their unique culture would remain undisturbed. The Artificers clan is a nomadic community living aboard a Dredger-class bulk cruiser, an old design that refuels by scooping raw materials and salvage. Little is known about this particular tribe, which rarely enters inhabited systems. The Dredger's arrival was initially reported by independent pilots. Commander Jerry Alvarado gave a statement to Vox Galactica. I regularly make trade runs to Forester's Choice. I've made a few friends there, but the
Landing course disengaged. Restrict
This
speed
rush
until
to
clear of
Vox
the
by
station
their
perimeter.
Aphrodite for Rackham's party has caught them by surprise. Anyway, when the Artificers first appeared, the Golcondans asked me to find out what they wanted. I flew out to the Dredger, but most of my hails got no reply. Only once did I get a burst of some rapid, densely verbose language. From what I could make out, they seemed to be interested in the Golconda itself, but they didn't explain further. Salvation triggers superweapon victory. Pilots Federation alert. The invading Thargoid forces in the DDO, Novus and Sosong systems have been completely repelled by Salvation. Vox Galactica journalist Jade Sanderlin published this account. We've received confirmation from Commodore Morag Halloran that 3 anti-Xeno superweapons were activated in DDO, Novus and Sosong. This caused the Thargoid fleets in all 3 systems to immediately withdraw into hyperspace. It seems that the Thargoids have no defense against the Guardian-derived superweapon, which generates an electromagnetic pulse to disrupt their biomechanical technology. Allied, Federal and Imperial task forces have been keeping the Thargoids at bay for the last 2 weeks. Admiral Ziegler, Price and Atherton sent messages of congratulation to Salvation, who seems set to receive additional resources to improve superweapon production. For better or worse, it appears Salvation now plays a crucial role in humanity's war against the Thargoids. The superpowers also offered rewards to independent pilots for contributing to the system's defenses. Commanders can redeem Thargoid combat bonds at Plymouth Howl in the Changi system, Nussel and Volod settlement in the Zalota system, and Sturkow orbital in the Oshima system. Thargoid Research Project Phase 1 completed. Pilots Federation alert. Professor Ishmael Palin has received multiple shipments of Thargoid meta-alloys for xenological study. From Able Laboratory, his workshop in the ARC system, Professor Palin made the following announcement. I am deeply grateful to all those who collected meta-alloys from barnacle sites. Analyzing these samples samples will help us learn more about the biomechanical technology currently employed by the Thargoid fleets. I am planning the second phase of this project, which has the combined assistance of the Alliance, Empire and Federation.
Message de mission critique entrant.
Despite the horror of the recent attacks, we must seize every chance to increase our scientific knowledge. Professor Palin has authorized payment for all pilots who took part in the initiative. This includes awarding Class 4A, 5A and 6A corrosion-resistant cargo racks to those who made the greatest contributions. The rewards can be collected at the Starport James Snedden in the Morton Mart system. In addition, the Federal Reclamation Company will continue to offer high prices for Thargoid tissue samples sold via the station's market. Supply rare goods for Rackham's celebration. Pilots Federation alert. The entrepreneur Zachary Rackham has asked for deliveries of rare items to Edmondson High in the Beta Hydri system. At a press conference on the planet Homeland, Mr. Rackham announced, "It's not every day that a humble businessman like me celebrates becoming a trillionaire. So I'm holding a week-long party in the upper floors of Rackham's Spire. To make sure my guests are entertained, I'll need to keep my stocks of Apavietzi from the Paniclis, Duration Goose beer from Gerris, Pantar Prayer sticks from George Pantazes, Yushin tree grubs from Usar and Nduligar fireworks from Nduligar High throughout the entire week. I've also arranged for pilots to receive temporary permits to the Beta Hydri system, which will last until the 2nd of June. Anything to make life easier for my trader friends." Mr. Rackham faced criticism for hosting a celebration at a time when so many have died in recent Thargoid attacks. In response, he claimed he had a duty to boost public morale by filling the news with happier stories. Financial reporter Brianna Blanco commented in the Federal Times, "The guest list for this party includes politicians, media magnates, publicity gurus, and many others who would prove useful if you were running a presidential campaign. Should Rackham get enough of them on his side, presumably by sparing no expense on their comfort and entertainment, I think he'll officially set his sights on the Federation's top job." Archon Delane faces pirate rebellion. A power struggle is raging within the Kumo crew following a coordinated effort to overthrow the Syndicate's leader, Archon Delane. The Sentinel newsfeed delivered this exclusive report. What at first seemed to be merely another attempt to assassinate Delane turned out to be a far greater threat. Simultaneous attacks across the organization revealed that this was actually the first strike in a full-blown coup. The rebellion is being led by Arch-Corsair Vidar Trask, a senior member of the Kumo Council. He has declared that the Syndicate is stagnating under Delane's tired brand of barbarism, and that new leadership will bring greater glories and riches. Fierce combat has ignited in the Kumo crew's key areas as both sides battle for resources. Trask's loyalists are being aided by a motley collection of pirate gangs, as well as thousands of unidentified fighters, suggesting that he has hired mercenaries to bolster his forces. Archon Delane, whose guards barely managed to shield him from the assassins, has ordered that the insurrection must be stamped out at any cost. He also vowed an explicitly violent revenge upon Vidar Trask, who has been one of his closest aides for many years. Rackham achieves trillionaire status. The personal fortune of entrepreneur Zachary Rackham.
Romeo, India. Thank you for choosing our station, Commander. We hope you find everything to your liking.
Now surpassed 1 trillion credits due to a new corporate acquisition. A report in the Tau Cetai Journal highlighted the achievement. Rackham Capital Investments now officially owns the company Kevinor Spaceframes Limited, which constructs Orbis starports. The business deal had been in the pipeline for years with little sign of progress, but was unexpectedly agreed by both parties in the last few days. Susanna Haynes, CEO of the now renamed Rackham Spaceframes, welcomed the arrangement. She remarked that improved financial stability can only benefit our efficiency at manufacturing orbital habitats.
Request approved. Please head directly for Bay 32. Automated docking
Analysts
initiated.
estimate that the total value of Mr. Rackham's estate is now approximately 1,012,000,000,000 credits. This makes him one of a handful of private citizens in the Federation who can claim to be trillionaires. The Federal Times featured a response from the journalist Brianna Blanco. I cannot question the legality of the Kevlar space frames purchase, but the timing is suspicious, following Rackham's recent self-hype about running for president. Whatever he did to push